What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV, back at it again with another banger, my friends. Kick back, relax, and come take a ride with me.
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
Juju, Watkins, and USC are off to their best conference start in decades right now. And it's crazy because we almost saw that streak come to an end and them take their first loss in the Big Ten to Indiana on the road. Shout out to the Hoosiers before we get too deep on the USC side, because they had USC on the ropes. They lost by 7. They missed 6 free throws. A lot of fouls. Ended up costing them in the end, man. They just couldn't close them. But they had USC right where they wanted them, so much to the point where their crowd gave them a standing ovation after the game, man. So shout out to the Hoosiers. But it was just USC had Juju, Watkins, and Indiana didn't. I will say, man, the USC bench was non-existent. The starters for USC scored every single point today, which it could be a bad sign, but they end up getting the win. And like I said, USC has Juju, Watkins, Indiana does not, and that was the difference. Juju finished with 22 points and 5 rebounds on the game. Juju really turned up in the second half, specifically in the third quarter late and then throughout the entire fourth quarter. But looking at the breakdown, man, I mean, they had no answer. They had no answer for her. It was just a show. I mean, they leave her in ISO, pull up, count it. That's easy. You got to hand down, man down every time. Hands up. Right here, pick and roll. 2 people contesting, doesn't matter. Mid-range. Game on fire. Then she gets the block shot there, doing it on both ends, showing she's a complete player. In transition, the length at 6'2", the Euro, extend, lay. Then transition one more time, slows it down, little hezzy, gets to the cup, beats 2 defenders with the step. It's out of there. This is the end of the third quarter, gives USC the lead. Left too much time, too lackadaisical on defense there. And then she gets it on the elbow, bump, step back, count it. And that was the shot that kind of changed the momentum of the entire game right there. Other starters for USC that really stood out to me were Kiki Uriafen. They made an effort in the second half to really pound the ball inside and get her touches. She stayed active hands, super skilled, came up with some big defensive plays. She finished with 14 points, 7 rebounds. Kennedy Smith, 14 points, 5 assists, led the team in 6 rebounds. She came up with some big defensive stops too, but I love the complete game the freshman is showing right there, man. Just dishing out 5 assists, being a playmaker, rebounding the basketball exceptionally well at the guard position. And she hit a big 3 that pretty much put the dagger in Indiana late in this contest. So big minutes for the freshman. Talia von Oelhoffen, still haven't seen the real her, I feel like, at USC, man. Like, she is not the same player she was at Oregon State. She finished with 10 points, 1 assist, 1 rebound for the veteran. Raya Marshall led the team in rebounds with 10, had 13 points. Man, she was pretty good from the free throw line, above her season average. She also threw out 2 assists. Like I mentioned, USC had no bench points in this contest, man. And neither team shot exceptionally well from the field or the 3. Field goal-wise, USC, 39%, resulted in 73 points, getting the win 73-66. Indiana cooled off in this fourth quarter, finished at 38.2%. 8 of 29 for threes. You could say definitely they was chucking out there. And then the free throw discrepancy is what really killed them, man. You lose by 7, you leave 6 points at the free throw line. Indiana wins the rebounding battle, wins the assist battle, and also commits less fouls than USC. Southern Cal had 9 turnovers. They forced 13, but 20 personal fouls is insane. Getting out rebounded. Just lucky for them, they stayed aggressive, and Indiana was not fundamentally sound making those free throws. I think they did a decent job on Juju. They held her to her below her season average. They gave her some different looks, but you can only keep a star down for so long. For Indiana, Sydney Parrish led the way with 16 points and 10 rebounds, and she just has a nose for the basketball. Definitely made some big shots, came up with some big rebounds to get Indiana some good, extra possessions. Chloe Moore McNeil, shout out to her, surpassing 1,000 points for her career. Had 13 points, 4 assists, 1 rebound, and she definitely did her part to keep this team in the game. Caroline Strickland had 10 points as well, 4 boards, and then Yarden Garcon, 10 points, 6 assists, 9 rebounds for the guard, leading the way with 6 assists for this team. And it was a lot of the starters putting in a lot of work for Indiana as well. Lily Meister came off the bench, though, and gave them some big minutes with 7 points. And I think she just brought a real scoring spark when they needed it in this game, but they just didn't have enough offense, man. The free throws, the turnovers, the personal fouls ended up doing Indiana in. USC remains in a 3-way tie with Ohio State as well as UCLA in the Big Ten. Big 3 right here. Can't forget about Maryland as well. Ohio State was down when I last saw as I'm recording this, so that could change. But big game from Juju Watkins. Big time players make big time plays, and that's what we saw from her. She closed this game out. From the 3-pointer to end the third to completely taking over from the mid-range in the fourth. I left impressed with Kennedy Smith. Just her poise late in this contest. USC had some costly turnovers late. I think Coach Gottlieb did a good job managing the game, calling timeouts, and, just settling the storm when Indiana went on their runs. Shout out to the Indiana crowd, man. It was packed in there. It was loud. They definitely have a very nice home environment, and they've been playing good basketball. They've beat a couple of ranked teams, including Iowa. So I definitely think this is a team that shouldn't be slept on, but USC gets the job done. I think there are definitely some chinks in the armor. They could take better care of the basketball, handle the press better, gotta shoot better, but all in all, it was ugly. They still got the win. Y'all give me your biggest takeaways. Holler at me in the comments. Let me know how y'all feel about it. That's a wrap for us. For all the latest and the greatest, I am Brandon Blakeney, a.k.a. Brandon Lee TV. This is the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Follow us on social media at Brandon Lee TV to stay up with the latest and the greatest. Comment, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Y'all know what to do. Till next time, like I said, we out.